Hello, dear friend. Before we begin, I invite you to take a deep breath. Close your eyes for just a moment, and imagine that you're holding a beautiful, clear glass lens in your hand. This lens is how you see the world. Everything you experience, your relationships, your joys, your struggles, is viewed through this invisible lens inside of you. This, my friend, is your inner lens. Now, let's sit with this thought for a moment. How clear is your lens today? Is it clean and bright, filled with hope and truth? Or is it dusty, clouded by pain, fear, or the past? We all carry one. Some of us inherited it from our families, what they believed, how they lived. Others had theirs shaped by hard experiences, loss, rejection, disappointment. And then, there's the voice of our ego, telling us who we should be, or who we're not. Add to that, our culture, our fears, our regrets. And slowly, the lens becomes blurry. We start seeing life not as it really is, but through the marks that were left on our hearts. There's a beautiful quote that says, "We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are." Those are the words of the writer Anais Nin. And they hold a deep truth. You see, two people can look at the same sky. One sees beauty, the other sees a storm. One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. What's the difference? Not the sky, but the lens through which they see. So today, I gently ask you, what's shaping your lens? Maybe you were told you weren't enough. Maybe you're carrying pain that no one ever saw. Or maybe, you've just been too busy surviving to even pause and look. But right now, just now, you are pausing. You are looking within. And that, dear one, is the beginning of healing. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore how this lens can be cleaned. How your soul can begin to see with light, truth, and clarity. Because you were never meant to walk through life with fog in your eyes. You were created to see with the eyes of love, of grace, of peace. So take another breath. You're in a safe place. Let's begin this journey together, one gentle layer at a time. Because healing your inner lens is how you begin to see life, not just through your eyes, but through the eyes of the soul. Part 2, Understanding the Inner Lens. Let's take a quiet moment. Take a breath. And just listen. I want to talk to you about something simple, but powerful. It's called your inner lens. Now, I'm not talking about a camera or a pair of glasses. I'm talking about something inside of you. Inside of all of us. You see, every one of us looks at the world through a kind of invisible lens. This lens isn't made of glass or plastic. It's made of your experiences, your memories, your emotions, and even your beliefs. Imagine putting on glasses with colored lenses. Red, blue, yellow, pick a color. Once you wear them, everything you see looks different. Even if the sun is shining bright, it'll still look like that color. That's how your inner lens works. You don't just see things as they are. You see them as you are. You see life through this lens. You see yourself through it. And if your lens has been scratched by pain, or fogged up by fear, or tinted by past wounds, then everything you see may look cloudy, or dark, or twisted. You may look in the mirror and not like what you see, not because of the truth, but because of the lens. You might see other people with suspicion or anger, not because they deserve it, but because your lens is still carrying past hurt. You might see God as distant or punishing, not because He is, but because something inside you has forgotten how much you're loved. This lens even changes how you see your past and your future. Some people walk through life carrying pain from years ago, and because of that pain, they believe tomorrow will be just as hard. They can't see the light ahead, because the lens only shows them the shadow behind. And here's the thing. Most of us don't even know we're wearing these lenses. We think we're seeing clearly, but we're not. That's why it's so important to stop. and ask ourselves, what kind of lens am I looking through today? Let me tell you a simple story. There once was a man who wore tinted glasses for so long. He forgot he had them on. Everywhere he looked, things seemed dark and dull. He thought the world had lost its color. One day, someone handed him a mirror. He looked and finally noticed. The darkness wasn't in the world. It was in the lens he wore. And when he took them off, the light poured in. Maybe today, that someone is you. And maybe this talk is your mirror. You're not broken. You're not beyond hope. You just might be wearing a lens that's ready to be healed. Take heart. God sees you with perfect clarity. And He longs to help you see the same. Place your hand over your heart and whisper gently, Lord, help me to see clearly. Help me to see through your eyes. Part 3. Sources of a distorted lens. Now that we've talked about this invisible, inner lens we all carry, let's gently ask the next question. What causes the lens to get cloudy in the first place? Why do so many of us struggle to see life, others, and even ourselves clearly? Let's take this slowly with compassion. Because these clouds on our lens, they usually come from pain. Let's look at a few of them together. First, past wounds. We've all been hurt somewhere along the way. Maybe someone said something unkind to you when you were little. Maybe someone left you, betrayed you, or made you feel small. Those wounds, if they aren't healed, become part of how we see everything. It's like getting a scratch on a camera lens. No matter what you point the camera at, the scratch is always there. You're not broken, but your view might be. Second, limiting beliefs. These are the quiet, hidden voices in our mind that say things like, I'm not good enough. God is far away. People always hurt me. I'll never change. Nothing good ever lasts. Can you hear how heavy those thoughts are? And yet, we believe them without even realizing. These beliefs become filters on our lens, and suddenly, even when love is offered, we can't receive it. Even when God is near, we feel alone. But those beliefs are not the truth. They are just old recordings. And you, my friend, are not your old recordings. Third, emotional baggage. We carry so much inside us. Guilt from the past. Shame over mistakes. Regret over what could have been. And when those emotions pile up, they fog our lens like steam on a mirror. We try to look ahead, but all we can see is the fog. And until we wipe it clear, we keep walking into the same pain again and again. Fourth, cultural and religious conditioning. This might surprise you, but sometimes the very systems that raised us also taught us to see ourselves or others through fear and judgment. Maybe you were told that God is angry, or that emotions are weakness, or that questioning is wrong. Maybe you were taught to judge people who are different, instead of loving them. These kinds of teachings can deeply affect how we see, not just the world, but our own soul. So gently, lovingly, we begin to ask, is this belief true? Or is it something I inherited without knowing? Remember the wise words of Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's not just a nice quote. It's a life changer. Because once you recognize what's fogging your lens, you can begin to clean it. You can forgive. You can unlearn. You can soften. You can see again. Friend, this isn't about blame. It's about healing. It's about realizing that you are not your past. You are not your beliefs. You are not your pain. You are a soul, a light, a child of God. And He wants you to see the world the way He sees it, with love, compassion, and truth. So let's pause. Put your hand on your heart again, and say softly, Lord, help me to see with a clear heart. Help me let go of what clouds my soul. The journey of healing the lens. Now that we've gently explored what distorts our inner lens, the wounds, the beliefs, the emotional fog, let's take the next sacred step together. How do we begin healing this lens? Let's be honest. We all want to see clearly, to live with peace, to walk with purpose, to love and be loved without fear, and yes, to know that God is near. But we can't do that with a foggy lens. So today, we begin a journey of healing the way we see. Let's begin with the first step, awareness. Before healing can happen, we must notice the distortion. Can you take a moment now to ask yourself, what stories am I telling myself? What hurts have I been holding on to? What thoughts keep repeating in my head? This isn't to make you feel bad. This is to bring truth into the light. And truth, my friend, sets us free. Second, stillness and silence. We live in a noisy world. Phones buzzing, thoughts racing, emotions swirling. But the voice of healing is quiet. You have to get still to hear it. Not just physically still, but spiritually still. Take a few minutes each day, just to sit. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Let your soul catch up with your body. Because in the stillness, something beautiful happens. Your soul begins to speak. And so does God. Third, forgiveness and release. This one is tender. To heal your lens, you may need to forgive your past, yourself, others, even God, if you've been carrying hurt in your faith. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. It's saying, I choose peace over poison. I release the grip of pain so I can walk free. Let go of what no longer serves your heart. Fourth, invite God to clean the lens with you. This isn't something we do alone. Healing is not a self-help project. It's a grace process. So speak simply to God. Say, Lord, help me see through your eyes. Heal the broken lens I've been looking through. Make my vision clear again. When you invite God into your inner world, you're not just cleaning the lens. You're changing the way light enters it. Fifth, surround yourself with truth and light. Just like dirty air fogs a window, negative environments cloud your soul. So spend time with those who lift your spirit. Read things that nourish your soul. Listen to voices that point you toward hope and healing. And most of all, fill your heart with scripture, prayer, and love. Quote for the heart. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Matthew 6 verse 22. When your inner eye, your spiritual lens, is healed, life looks different. You begin to see beauty where you once saw brokenness. You find peace where you once felt panic. You notice grace in places you used to ignore. Friend, this is not about perfection. It's about perception. And perception can be healed. So today, take this with you. You are not stuck with the way you've always seen things. You can heal. You can grow. You can see through the eyes of the soul. Part 5. Living with a healed lens. We've come a long way on this journey. We've paused to understand the lens through which we see the world. We've recognized what clouds it. Old wounds, false beliefs, shame, and pain. And with God's help, we've begun to clean it. Now let's talk about what it looks like to live each day with a healed lens. 1. Seeing yourself with compassion. When your inner lens is healed, you stop being your harshest critic and become your kindest friend. You no longer look in the mirror and say, I'm not good enough. Instead, you hear a softer voice whisper, You are God's masterpiece, beautifully made. You begin to notice your strengths instead of just your flaws. You allow space for mistakes and growth. And most importantly, you treat yourself the way God treats you, with grace. 2. Seeing others with love instead of judgment. A clear lens doesn't just change how you see yourself. It transforms how you see others. You start to look beyond people's behavior and into their pain. you realize that we are all just trying to find our way. And most of us are carrying invisible burdens. Where once you judged, you now understand. Where once you reacted, you now respond with care. This doesn't mean you let people walk over you, but it means you walk in love. As Mother Teresa once said, "If you judge people, you have no time to love them." 3. Seeing God with greater clarity and trust. Many of us were taught to fear God, to think of Him as distant or angry. But when your spiritual lens heals, you begin to see God as He truly is. Near, tender, full of mercy. You stop wondering if you're worthy of His love, and begin to rest in it. You start to notice Him in quiet moments. In nature, in silence, in the smile of a stranger. You recognize that God isn't far away. He's as close as your own breath. 4. Seeing the present moment as sacred. A healed lens helps you live in the now. Not stuck in the past. Not anxious about the future. But rooted in the gift of this moment. You begin to notice small blessings. The breeze on your face, the colors of the sky, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Life slows down. Not because it got easier, but because you started paying attention. This is spiritual clarity. To see what is real and good right in front of you. 5. Living with purpose and gentle confidence. When your lens is clear, you stop chasing what doesn't matter. You no longer live to prove yourself. You start living to express your soul. You know that your life has meaning, even if the world doesn't always recognize it. You trust your steps because they're guided. You trust your intuition because it's tuned to the Spirit. You trust your heart because God lives there. And most of all, you begin to shine. Not from pride, but from peace. Final reflection. Friend, can you imagine what your life would feel like if you truly saw yourself as loved? If you truly believed that God was for you, not against you? If you could look at others and say, "I see your soul, not just your struggle." That is the gift of a healed lens. And it's not just possible, it's already happening. Right here. Right now. Every prayer, every pause, every honest tear is polishing your soul's window. Keep going. God is not done with you. Part 6. Returning to clarity, a daily practice. Dear friend, now that you've tasted the peace of a clearer lens, let's talk about how to stay there. How to return to clarity, again and again. Because let's be honest, life has a way of smudging our lens. A harsh word. A disappointing day. A wave of fear. And suddenly, our vision feels foggy again. That's not failure. That's being human. The good news? Clarity is not a one-time event. It's a daily return. A gentle rhythm of coming home to your soul. So let's explore how to keep this lens clear. Not perfectly, but purposefully. 1. Begin each day with inner stillness. Before the world rushes in, take a few minutes each morning to be still. You don't need fancy prayers or long words. Just silence, breath, and presence. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart. And whisper, "God, help me see today with your eyes." Even 2 minutes of stillness can center your soul. Think of your lens like a window that gathers dew overnight. Each morning, you gently wipe it clean with light and love. 2. Notice what clouds your vision. Throughout the day, be aware of what fogs your clarity. Is it fear? Resentment? An old memory trying to speak louder than your present? Whenever you notice the fog, don't judge it, just pause. Take a breath. Speak gently to your soul. "That's not the full truth. Let me return to light." Quote, "Awareness is the greatest agent for change." Eckhart Tolle. 3. Practice spiritual journaling. Before bed, take a few minutes to reflect. Where did I feel most alive today? Where did I feel closed off or reactive? What is my soul asking me to see differently? Writing helps uncover patterns, and clarity grows in reflection. Over time, your journal becomes a mirror to your healing journey. 4. Use the power of breath. Yes, just your breath. When your heart feels heavy or your thoughts feel loud, breathe in slowly. Hold it, and breathe out gently. Inhale peace. Exhale confusion. God meets you right there. No striving. No proving. Just being. 5. Let God be the cleaner of your lens. Sometimes the distortions run deep. Pain you didn't choose. Wounds that won't heal overnight. But you don't have to fix everything yourself. Invite God in. Ask Him to wash your lens with grace. Like David prayed in the Psalms. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. You'll be surprised how much clarity comes. Not from effort, but from surrender. 6. Surround yourself with soul-nourishing light. Choose what enters your mind and heart. Read words that uplift. Spend time with people who speak truth with love. Listen to music and stories that remind you of who you are in God's eyes. Your lens stays clearer when your environment is filled with light. As this quote by Walt Whitman says, "Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you." Final reflection. Dear one, your soul was designed for clarity. Even when the world grows loud, even when your lens feels cracked, you have the power, with God's help, to return to the still, clear waters within. Clarity isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about choosing again and again to see with love. And every time you return, you grow. You shine. You live more like the soul you truly are. So come back as often as you need. Back to stillness. Back to grace. Back to your sacred sight. You are never alone on this journey. God walks with you. And the light within you is stronger than the fog around you. And so, dear friend, we've walked this gentle journey together. Through understanding your inner lens. Through recognizing what clouds it. And through learning how to return again and again to clarity. Remember, this is not a one-time lesson. It is a daily, loving practice. Some days your lens will feel clear. Other days, life may fog it up again. That's okay. That's human. That's grace. What matters most is this. Now you know the way back to clarity. Now you know how to return to love, to stillness, to the sacred way of seeing through the eyes of the soul. So as you move through the rest of your day and into tomorrow, carry this blessing in your heart. You can choose how you see. You can choose what you bring into the world. And no matter what life looks like around you, there is always more light waiting to shine through. I'm honored you chose to share this time. Keep tending your vision. Keep returning to peace. And may your days be filled with grace and clarity. Until next time, go in love, go in light. If this message spoke to your heart, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel, so we can continue walking this journey of clarity and light together.